Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today is Friday, December 11th. Thank God it's Pod Day, and welcome to episode 37 of the Can't Stop Playing podcast. We have a very special episode today. This episode is the annual Love Yourself episode. So me and Gabe are going to kick the show off by telling you what we love about ourselves, and then you can do the same when you hear the beep. So Gabe is going to kick things off. Oh, first of all, welcome to the show, Gabe. It's nice of you to join us.
Hi, Zachary. My name is Gabe. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hi.
So we do this thing every year on the podcast where we talk about what we love about ourselves this year. So tell me some things you love about yourself in 2015.
All right. I love that I trimmed my beard more times than I have since high school. I trimmed my beard a total of like 6 times this year. That's a record for me. Okay, I haven't done that in quite some time. As you guys can tell from the last episode to this episode, the beard is dramatically shorter.
It is,
and even then, this is a week's growth after the original trimming. We missed last week because Zachary was doing all types of PSX related stuff.
That's PSX, not some other S and X word.
Did I say PSX?
You did, but I'm just clarifying for our
PlayStation Experience 2015.
You. There we go.
All right. So yeah, my beard was even shorter than this, but now it's already back. I might trim it one more before the year's end, maybe just 7. That's a lot, Zach. 7 times trimming a beard.
That's a lot. That's a lot of times.
Yeah. So that's what I like about myself.
Okay. What do I? Okay, I'll go along your same train of thought. What I like about myself this year is that I established a facial hair routine.
There you go.
So I figured out how I like it, how I want it, and what it's going to be like for the foreseeable future.
Foreseeable.
And if I can't see it, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
If I can't see the facial hair, I don't know what it's going to be like at all.
You should just try not shaving for a full calendar year. So
starting today.
No. Starting New Year's. Or the day before New Year's, you shave completely every hair on your face except your eyebrows. You can keep that.
What about my entire body?
Do it. Why not? Let's go with it. And then for a full calendar year,
just let it go.
Yeah, you let it go.
All right, we'll check in on that by episode 40. Which there may not be an episode 40.
There won't be. I think we should firmly say
this is the end. So now, beep. Think about yourself. Let's give him a moment of silence here. And we're back. So today's going to be a shorter show because there's not a whole lot of game releases. We are preparing a Game of the Year show that I don't even know if it'll air because this could be
we should like seriously address it though. Like let's like really tell people about it early on the show so people are aware, because last time we did this, people didn't know. We still get people asking us to this day, "Hey, where's the feed? Do you want to address it or no? Should we just No?
I think when the time comes, we can make a separate announcement.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
And we'll broadcast it across all channels that we have.
We should do that thing that villains do in movies where they like take control of every screen in the world.
In the whole world. Okay.
Yeah. And the most recent one that I can think of is Zod. And Man of Steel, where he's like transmitting to every country and he's speaking like 10 languages at once.
We need to figure that technology out. I'm gonna put you on that job.
Yeah, I think I got it.
But before we get to some of the games we've been playing, there's another aspect of the Love Yourself episode that I wanted to bring on and ask you, Gabe, if you'd be interested in. It's a little part where we give each other Native American names to really tap into our deepest heart.
Okay.
So I've come up with one for you.
Okay.
And then I challenge you to come up with one accurate for me.
Done.
Okay, great. So mine for you is Solid Ox.
Solid Ox.
You're very reliable.
I am.
You're very consistent.
I am. I'm consistently
you got the strength of an ox.
I do.
And you have the peace and the calming effects of a big, sturdy animal.
I like it. The only thing, because I'm pretty ignorant to Native American terms in general, the only thing that I can think of that is Native American is Tahajali. And do you know what that is?
No.
Tahajali is an episode of Breaking Bad. Okay. And it is also I believe it was really a Indian settlement in New Mexico. And it is both a very crucial episode where a major character dies. It's in the last season.
Okay.
And a character that's been around since episode 1 died, and a lot of sadness. I think that's you, except you're the opposite of Tahajali.
Wow, I was going to say, like, what are you trying to get at here? Am I dying this episode, or what's happening?
No, so you're the opposite of Tahajali, which I don't know. Tobaljali? I don't know.
Just hold it up to a mirror and whatever it says, that's what I am.
Yeah, I can barely pronounce Tahajali as it is, so I don't know about it backwards. I can't do that.
All right, well, I appreciate the efforts. And
hey, I'm not Native American. I don't know any of this stuff.
It's okay. Now, everyone watching or listening, you can shout out your a Native American name for someone close to your heart, and just shout it out right now.
You're also like a wolf. Your hair is like a wolf. Okay, hold on. You're celestial wolf. Is that Native American?
That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, there we go.
I think it's spot on. I think I'm gonna get that tattooed across the my left clavicle.
All right. Did you ever watch Beast Wars?
No.
There was a wolf in that. That's sort of what I'm going with. But okay, we should move on from this.
All right. So now back to your regularly scheduled podcast. We're gonna talk to you about video games. There was a lot of them this year, and most of them weren't very good, but some of them were good.
You're a liar. Most of them were good.
Most of them were okay. Do you want to talk about what we've been playing this week or PlayStation Experience first?
Let's talk about what we've been playing this week first, then you can move on to the PlayStation Experience.
All right. It was quite the experience.
You had an experience at PlayStation.
I did.
Okay.
A virtual experience.
Have you tried it?
I did. PSVR.
Shit, whatever. Let's talk about that then.
If you followed my Instagram, you wouldn't have seen the picture of me donning the goggles.
I don't do Instagram. I feel like I'm too old.
Yeah, so old. Younger than me, but too old.
Yeah. I feel like I'm too old.
There are like 60-year-old women on Instagram, Gabe. So
wait, Zachary. I don't think people understand. I am younger than you. I don't think people know. Yeah, people don't know this.
Everyone thinks I'm about 17, but in fact, I'm a few months older than young Gabriel.
Absolutely. About 2.5 months around there, who knows. But you are older, and it doesn't seem like it.
No.
You have a very young spirit.
I do, and a very young face.
Yep.
So, Brother Gabriel, before we dive into my PlayStation experience, what games have you been putting on your screens this week?
It's only 2 of them. And
good. Thank goodness it's not 3, because if it was, we'd have to kick you off the show. We don't have time for that.
All right, good.
Not this week.
You're not going to like either one of them.
Great.
One is Rainbow Six Siege.
I like that game.
That game, it shouldn't cost anybody $60, but I've played
It's a great game to get for free, let's be honest.
Yeah. Or $10, $20 I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
Okay, look. If all the microtransaction stuff that's in it was like strictly in game and they didn't make you pay like real currency for all this, I think it'd be a very solid $40 game. But since it is super microtransaction-y, it's basically a free to play game. It takes what?
It's a free to play game that's not free.
No, it's not. It's actually quite expensive.
The best kind of free to play game.
I don't think it's going to stay $60 for very long.
Well, most games don't. I mean, Tomb Raider already dropped to $40.
One of our favorite games of the year, Tomb Raider. $40.
Battlefront dropped to $40. Black Ops 3 dropped to $40 in certain locations.
I think some of those should be separated from others. I think Black Ops is $40. Just it's going to go back up. I think that's just a sale thing for the holidays, trying to get more sales for the month of December. I don't think Tomb Raider's ever going to go back up.
Maybe not.
No, I don't think so. I don't think if Rainbow Six takes a price cut, which I'm assuming will, I don't think that goes back up either.
No. I think it's a fun game, and I think it's cool, and I really actually like. It's got slightly awkward controls, but when we played it, like I like the way it plays. I think, as people have mentioned, the systems in place for how you unlock content is really bad. You have one operator at the beginning.
I have them all now.
Well, I know you do now, but it's a pay game that you have one character at the beginning, and it's not easy to unlock them.
No, it's time consuming. It's easy. It's just time consuming. It takes a lot of time.
If you're gonna charge for a game, like at least, and you're gonna have microtransactions, at least make the characters like easy to unlock or something. It honestly feels like one of two things: either A, this was supposed to be free to play, and then they're like, crap, we need more money, $60, or B, like Patriots was so far along that they're like, we have to scrap this and come up with something really fast that doesn't cost a lot that we can like elongate out to be a full game.
What if this really was just a multiplayer suite for Patriots? and they just scrapped it, and they scrapped the campaign, and then this is what they were left with.
That would suck. Huge,
just like that.
Huge suckage, like that yawn.
Yeah, I don't know, but the game itself is fun.
Yeah,
you haven't played a lot of the multiplayer. I've played a lot of it. I was asking. I stream it a lot, and I was asking in the chat, like, is there an in-game clock that would tell me how long I've played this game? And I don't think there is one, but if I had to guess, I would say I've played the game about 25, 30 hours, somewhere there.
Which is that's a lot for us.
I played a lot of it, and I'm ranked 30. I have close to all the specialists unlocked. There's like one or two that I haven't unlocked, but I have the majority of them. The ones I don't have because I don't really care for them.
Who's your favorite?
I have a couple of favorites. Sledge is not my favorite. Sledge was one of my early favorites just because he was the first one I got. So he's
like the kid that's born cute, but then by teen years like, oh, you're an ugly son. Get out of my house.
Yeah, you're too ugly. You got to go fend for yourself. I don't care.
Get out of here.
I don't care that I brought you into this world and you're ugly partially because of my DNA. No, none of that matters. No, so I like Fuse a lot, but people like run to Fuse very quickly. I like the one with the shield and the pistol. I forget his name because I'm blanking on his name too. But those two I like a lot. I still like Sledge quite a bit. I don't know, but there's a lot of them though. There are
quite a few, and
a lot of them I haven't even used.
The interesting thing is like they're not all the same cost. As you unlock certain guys from certain factions, they get more and more expensive for the in-game currency, and I don't think there's a way to buy them right now.
No, not with real money, no. Well, the thing is, you can buy the renown with real money, and then you could just use that renown that you paid for.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can do that, but you can't just outright buy the characters.
How have you found multiplayer, the competitive multiplayer, without a full squad that you're talking to? Have you, like, because that was my big problem with the alpha when I played it way back when, was like, I felt like there was zero coordination, and that just, like, totally diluted the whole thing for me.
It's still tough. I think even playing with two people, like, I mean, you don't need a full squad. Playing with one, maybe another, one or two people that that you can coordinate with, it definitely helps.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when I'm playing by myself, a lot of people do wear mics with this game, which is something I like. People are aware that coordination helps and being able to communicate and plan stuff out is the way to go. So they're all using mics, and I don't feel like I gotta talk because they're telling me where the enemies are. They're still communicating, and I hear it all. So I don't know. I don't find it boring to play by myself. I don't find it difficult to play by myself. I still do very well sometimes. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I'm really good at the game, and sometimes I'm really bad at the game. I kind of wish I was just a consistent medium at the game, but that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Rank matches are what I find a little bit more intriguing because it matches you up with people that are your skill, and people take it more serious. So when you're playing casual, sometimes there's a group of friends just goofing around and they're killing each other automatically, and it basically negates the whole match. You basically have to leave. In rank matches, everybody's taking that super serious. Everybody has a mic on.
Right.
Everybody's putting on their try-hard pants. So those are more fun. It's just that those are a little bit harder to find. Certain times of the day, it's harder to find a match. Casual matches, you can find them whenever. But I don't know, man. The game's fun. I just wish it was free to play, because then it would have a good player base, and I don't think that the game as it currently stands is going to keep the player base for very long.
I heard the sales were horrible. The UK, I think it debuted with like 70,000 copies or something real low. Do you see it as a game that has, like, Battlefront came out, people are like, oh, that's really fun, but this is like a 2-week game and done. Do you think Rainbow Six is similar? Like, once you unlock all the operators and once you whatever, then
the only difference between Battlefront and this is I think Rainbow Six holds people a little bit longer, especially with the whole esports thing, especially if it becomes a hit on there. People are streaming this game on Twitch, like big streamers, like they love it, and that causes people that watch them to play it. So there's a consistent player base there that I don't think will be there with Battlefront, because Battlefront is stupid, like it's like stupid bare bones. Like, it has a little bit more content.
I mean, it has more modes. Than this.
Like it has a little bit more content, but the content that's there isn't as deep.
Okay.
And also it's super casual, super casual, and I don't know if it has any who's gonna like hardcore play Battlefront, really.
So you think in March you'll be playing Rainbow Six?
I don't know if I'll be playing it in March, but I for sure won't be playing Battlefront in March.
What about if they release a General Grievous DLC?
See, maybe, but
what if they release a Boss Nass DLC?
Give me Slave Leia or nothing.
Yeah, okay.
Stop joking. No,
nope,
but
he's not joking. He's dead serious.
Yeah, whatever. I'm dead serious. What are you gonna do about it? But there's DLC coming for Rainbow Six as well.
Yeah, it costs just as much as Star Wars. No, Rainbow Six is $30, right?
Yeah, and you get all the specials a week early. And here's the other difference. Rainbow Six, all maps and modes are going to be free.
Okay.
So Battlefront doesn't have that. There's going to be a division as far as maps and modes with Battlefront. And I don't know. I prefer Rainbow Six. If you could tell me, Gabe, you can only play one of these games for the rest of the year. Hands down, it's going to be Rainbow Six.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. I just wonder, with the limited number of copies they sold, is there even going to be a market for the season pass? How many, I guess.
I'm not poking fun, but I think the market would be pretty comparable to Evolve.
Okay.
So if you think that Evolve has a market, if you think that the player base that Evolve currently has is sufficient enough for a multiplayer game, then yes, I think Rainbow Six.
Which I wish it was more everywhere.
Well, yeah, of course. And I don't have the love for Rainbow Six like you do for Evolve at all.
Sure.
I think it's a fun game. Out of every multiplayer game that came out this fall, and that includes Halo, that includes Black Ops, and this might sound crazy to people, but Rainbow Six is the one I prefer to play just because it's so different.
Yeah.
Call of Duty, yes, things have changed gameplay wise, but it's still a Call of Duty game. Battlefront, super arcadey, super casual. I don't want a part of that. Halo is still Halo. We've had those experiences before, and not that we haven't had this experience before, but it's very slowed down. It's very methodical. You die and you're done for the match, so you got to be very careful. And it's more traditional. So I don't know. Rainbow Six is cool. I like it.
All right. What's the other game you've been playing?
Madden.
Great.
I can't talk about it, but yeah, I've just been playing more Madden.
All right, so Madden Rainbow Six. I have played a game that I'm not allowed to talk about. You guys know that the Division Alpha came out. I may have played it. I may have not. I don't know.
Who knows?
But I can say that some game I played this week really surprised me, really impressed me, and I'm excited to play more. And I'm going to get a chance to do that early in the next year.
Since you can't talk about that, let me talk about something I can talk about. Undertale. Okay. I played that.
Ooh, tell us about good old Undertale with the hearts and the plants and the bunnies and the...
Yeah, I only played like an hour and a half of it because then my PC decided to die. But then I brought it back to life and I want to play more of it. But the hour and a half that I played, it's super charming. It's a charming game. I don't understand the game of the year talk that people are throwing at it. To me, it makes no sense as of right now. But it's only an hour and a half.
Should I play it?
It's a charming freaking game. I think you would like it.
You think I would?
Yeah. It's a Ghost Robo game.
All right. I'll check it out.
Besides visually, the fact that it looked what it looks like.
Right.
It's a very small indie RPG, but it's cool.
What does it do that because it's channeling like 16-bit RPGs, but what does it do that makes it like stand out? Can you see any reason why people would say, "Oh my God, game of the year"?
People keep saying the characters. The characters that I've run into have been silly.
Okay.
Well, the first character, apparently everybody loves her. I forget her name. She's like a cow. Cow. She's a cow person. I forget her name. People love her. I was saying in the stream that man, she's annoying, and people like, what? Like, how do you not love her? I'm like, oh no, she's kind of annoying. I almost flirted with her, and then she starts treating me like a son. I'm like, oh, I'm glad I didn't flirt with you because now I'm your son. Apparently,
that would not have been good.
Yeah. The battle system's cool. It's funny. You can either play as a pacifist or the opposite, which is basically just kill everything. I'm playing as a pacifist. I'm not killing anything at all.
So you just hit it until it runs away?
You can flirt with it. You can charm it. You can talk to it. It depends on an enemy. Certain enemies don't like being talked to. So you have to do other stuff to them. All right.
Sounds like Yokai Watch.
I don't know. I didn't play Yokai Watch enough, but...
Well, just doing a bunch of, random crazy stuff instead of just traditional battles.
Does Yokai Watch do this thing where, there's two enemies, different enemy type. One of them, I don't know how you figure this out, but One of them won't react to what you're trying to do to it. It doesn't like company, basically. So you got to take care of the other enemy before this one will even acknowledge you.
Very fickle enemies.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a fun game. The dialogue is super funny. The music is amazing. I don't know who the hell did the music, but I love it.
It was me.
Was it you? It might have been you. It might have been me, since the music I made, like, fire. It's lit.
Can we? Yeah, crank it in right now.
I don't have it pulled up. I forgot. Well, you'll have to insert that in post. But yeah, Undertale's cool, man. I want to play more of it. Played an hour and a half, like I said. I'm interested, but I don't understand all this Game of the Year talk. I don't.
Nah.
That's Ori right there, man. Ori is a classic.
I can't wait for I couldn't wait for a Game of the Year show that probably won't happen now.
Well, it'll still happen. Don't scare these people. They've been waiting for this, Zachary. It'll happen. Just it won't happen.
We never had our Halloween episode, so we got to scare them somehow.
It'll happen, just not the way you want it to.
I've been playing some more Star Wars Battlefront. I find it odd that I like it, so I just have fun. I like the fact that I don't worry about kill death. Like Call of Duty, if I have I get a couple deaths in a row, I'm like, screw it, I'm done. Restart, get out of this match. I want to do really well. But Battlefront, to me, it's not about that. So I'm much more okay with, like, hey, I went 23-20, but I contributed the objective. I like the new map. I think the Jakku map is really interesting. I think it's the coolest visual, like, map visually.
More than Andor?
I guess Andor, I think, is the most functionally awesome map because, like, you can run through the bushes and the trees and stuff.
We all know you love your foliage.
I do. I love. Oh, we're gonna talk about Far Cry Primal and some foliage soon.
All right.
But it's just all the the crash debris and then like the battle in the sky in Jakku is really awesome. So I don't think it's a great game, but I think it's a really fun game. And something about like the blaster control. I know it's pretty casual, but I like it. And there's just I don't know something entertaining about that game, and I feel like it's one that you can really get in and get out and feel satisfied, whereas Call of Duty, until I have a really good round, or if I don't have any good round, I feel like it was a waste of my time.
I saw a quote somewhere from some EA hi-hat executive of some type that this game was made so that 8-year-olds can enjoy it.
Yeah, that was a statement.
Yeah, it was a statement made by a person that speaks.
Yes, and writes.
Yeah.
Or maybe they don't write.
Yeah, I hope they don't yawn.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of yawns, unfortunately. And I also been playing a very good game that may make my top 10 list.
That's insane. You just played, what, like an hour of it?
SteamWorld Heist is freaking incredible.
I'm sure it is, but what, off an hour of it, Zachary?
This is downloadable title from Image and Form. It's on 3DS. It's like $17. They made SteamWorld Dig, which was a phenomenal game. It was on PC and Steam. It was on 3DS. Might have even been on...
Why isn't this on Steam?
Because Nintendo was like, ooh, that's a quality game. We need to have it on our console because that's what they care about, quality.
No, it's not on their console. It's on their handheld.
One of their consoles.
Okay.
Portable console.
Yeah. I think if I don't play this game, it's because it's only on 3DS.
So the way that SteamWorld Heist works is think of XCOM meets Valkyria Chronicles meets Grumpy Robots meets space.
Grumpy Robo. New channel coming soon, guys.
Yeah. It's absolutely awesome. The charm is there. It's got cool music. It's got cool sound effects. All the robots speak in like a garbled, fake language, and it's written on screen, and then you get to hear them be like, rah, 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 and they all have unique voices and unique personalities. And then the actual, the structure of the game is your ship will board these other ships, and then you have to kind of clear them out and collect loot along the way, and sometimes accomplish objectives like destroy a generator or kill 3 sisters, which I don't recommend doing at home. But
don't kill anyone.
Yeah, but these robots, it's other robots, so there's not a whole lot of blood loss. It's just bolts lost.
Okay.
So that's okay, I think. Anyways, so the combat is a little bit of a mix. It's in between real time and turn based strategy. So you're moving your character kind of like XCOM, where like you have a certain number of move spaces, and if you use all of them, they can attack. If you use some of them, then they can attack. And you've got primary weapons. You've got like they're not called secondary weapons. I think they're called tools, but like grenades or like brass knuckle or
I'm all about that bro snorkel life, yo.
I know. Yeah. And you can equip other kind of more passive things like speedy boots that allow you to move farther. You can take cover. You're real-time aiming your shots, which is where sort of the Valkyria Chronicles part comes in, because you're actually using real space aiming, and you get more real space as in like physical space, not outer space.
Yeah.
But you get more chance for a critical hit if you get a headshot. So there is actual benefits to aiming. It's not just for window dressing. And just like the whole system, the way it works, the fact that you're like collecting loot, you can try and like clear everyone out and then leave before collecting all the loot, or push your luck and kill, more guys and risk dying. There's very heavy penalties if you do die. Then you lose a lot of your water, because these robots need a lot of moisture and water to stay lubricated.
Isn't water bad for robots? I think if I see a robot and I throw water on it, it's fry.
Well, these robots, water is their most valuable resource.
Wow. It's our most valuable resource.
It's because they're steam-powered robots.
Oh, there you go. Okay, this makes sense.
Now we got it.
All right.
So you're getting like loot, and like there's randomized loot, and that's pretty fun. You can buy stuff. There's hubs that like house other characters. You can recruit other robots. Maybe you want like a grandpa robot who's good at being sneaky. Maybe you want a big strongman robot who's good at melee. Maybe you want a sneaky girl robot that can snipe. Guns, leveling up, experience points. It's pretty brutal in the sense that if a character dies mid-battle, they don't get any experience points.
Oh, okay, but they're not dead. It's not like XCOM.
Well, you have to pay water to rebuild them.
I need my water, man. I ain't paying it for Daisy the robot. No, Daisy, you're dead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why you run a bad ship, Gabe.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You told us you were grumpy before we even started the podcast.
Yeah.
And then if you die, it takes half of your money, which is water.
I don't want to die. Don't take my water.
If everyone dies, then you run out of water.
I ran out of water.
And you can they rank you based on stars, based on how well you did in the mission, and then you can use those stars to recruit new robots. It's got a very nice flow, like one more mission. They're only about, I'd say, 10 minutes long. The environments are pretty cool. So far, they've all been very similar, and the enemies have been similar, but I'm playing, I think there's 5 difficulty levels, and I'm playing on the 3rd hardest. So there's like beginner, normal, advanced, veteran, and like impossible. And I'm playing on the veteran one.
Oh.
Or advanced, I guess. And it's like I've died twice. It's been pretty challenging. I played about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I just freaking love it. The whole charm, the flow, the controls, very short load times, the robot personalities, just the loop of like, I want to kill all these robots so I can get more loot, so then I can upgrade my robots and take on bigger, better robots, and the map system where you're flying around. It's a must-buy. I think any fan of gaming, it's a great way to take a strategic but still speedy, because like that's what stands out to me is so many strategy games are slow. And I love the fact that you actually have movement control. They do something really smart. When one character is moving, say Gabe, you're a robot, and say I want to send you all the way across the 3rd floor of this spaceship.
Don't do that.
It would take you a long time.
It would.
You're a solid ox. It's going to take you a while.
Yeah.
So I can click the left trigger on the 3DS and just switch to the next character and start issuing them orders.
Man, that's simplicity right there.
It's very nice. I like that you can. The real-time aiming is fun. You can upgrade guns and get sights on them, and then you can see where you're shooting. Otherwise, you just have to trust your vision.
I don't. I don't trust. I wear glasses. I'm blind as a bat, Zachary. I don't trust it.
And then there's like give and take. The system. It's not a super complicated stat system, but like some guns are more powerful. But for example, you can't shoot after you move, or some guns are less powerful but have sights on them, so you can aim better. Or some guns fire a spread. Some guns, so on and so forth. There's abilities, so as you level up, you'll unlock abilities. So like maybe a character gets pissed off when he gets attacked, and his next attack does +2 damage. It's just like the perfect level of depth, but also not too much depth, so you're bogged down. It's got a great flow, great speed, great charm. Like I cannot recommend it enough. I want to play it more than I want to play most of the AAA games. Pokemon Picross and SteamWorld Heist have been my gaming time this week.
What a life. I
gotta say, Pokemon Picross is amazing. It's free to play, and it's very generous. Like, you're able to play that game without paying anything. But there was a rare Pokemon appeared in Zone 2.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to go get it. And normally the Picross puzzles are 10 by 10 squares. Are you familiar with Picross?
Yes.
So normally they're 10 by 10. You have to figure the puzzle out. Gabe, this one was a 15 by 20.
No. I don't like this.
You had to solve it in 30 minutes or less to get the bonus pick rights, which is the currency.
Yeah.
And I solved it in 29 I think 2913.
Oh, you were close.
But I did it.
Yeah.
It was a brain burner.
Is your brain okay?
It's okay now, but my brain was in a difficult shape for quite a while.
Okay. That must be why you were so late today.
Yeah, and it was Manphy was the Pokemon.
Ooh.
It doesn't matter so much that it's Pokemon, but it adds a heck of a lot of charm. And you're like, oh my god, I'm building Charizard or I'm building Clefairy, as opposed to like, a one-eyed dog or a fire hydrant.
Yeah, I don't think you would care if it wasn't Pokemon.
But I do like Picross because it challenges my brain.
Yeah, you do like your brain challenged.
I do, and I haven't been to school for 8 years, so I really...
He's been skipping this whole time. What a bad student.
I like some things that force me to activate those good old brain parts.
Neurons.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So those two are, one's free, one's $17. Amazing purchases, great end of the year games. Take it on Christmas vacation, take it on Kwanzaa vacation, take it on Hanukkah vacation. Go in the bathroom and have your own vacation.
Yeah, that's the only place I go on vacation.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've been playing games that are free and $17, and I've been playing. You want Rainbow Six? You can pay it for $60 for that one. Yeah. It's a good time.
And then I went to PlayStation Experience.
You did.
Now,
I did. I wasn't invited to this. I didn't even know it was happening.
Yeah,
I knew it was happening.
Well, I gotta say that I went mostly to check it out. I wanted to investigate, do a little detective work for the...
You put on your detective hat.
The almost defunct Can't Stop Playing podcast.
Almost defunct.
But I do want to tell you one more thing about Steam World Heist, which is that there's hats.
There's hats. Is there a detective hat?
There might be. You can shoot the hat off of enemies and then go steal them.
Damn, but then they have a hole in them.
No. They just fall off.
Wait, so what are you shooting at these things? Rubber?
I guess, but then you don't. It's a risky move because then you don't damage the robot, but you get its hat.
I don't know, man. I don't know if these hats are worth it.
Me neither. But PlayStation Experience, I think it's worth it for people who don't have the opportunity to go to other conventions, but I don't know that it's a good stackable convention. I didn't feel like there was a lot of worth there if you've been to PAX Prime or E3 or PAX East.
Was it all the same like kiosks that we saw?
It was basically all the same. I mean, it was all Sony focused, but what I was impressed with was they had 3 floors of the Moscone Center in San Francisco, and there were a lot of games because it wasn't just Sony, first or second party titles. Like Battleborn was there, Call of Duty was there, Ubisoft had Far Cry Primal and For Honor, Uncharted 4. Obviously, that's a more of a Sony exclusive. But what I'm trying to get at is there were games there that weren't just on PlayStation. So Battlefront had some floor space, and a lot of indies that are already on PC or will be on multiple platforms were there as well. There's a heavy indie focus, which I guess is good. It was the least crowded gaming convention I've ever been to, so from that standpoint, it was nice. The shortest lines, you could breathe. It wasn't very hot.
You didn't need to go outside to get some air, Zachary?
No air was needed. There was plenty of air inside.
Was the air inside okay for you?
It was plenty fresh.
Okay, it was fresh. All right, good.
It was very fresh.
I like it.
Spectacle-wise, they did their part. They had a giant screen with the Last Guardian bird dog creature,
which they already had. It wasn't a new thing. They had it at PAX or E3 or something. I've seen that screen. Like, it's not the first thing that screen was around. Like,
we've never seen that unless you were at an event I wasn't at.
No. I wasn't at the event. I saw it.
But Gabe, we've been at E3 and PAX Prime.
I could have sworn that stupid thing was around before somewhere. Was it at Gamescom?
No.
I don't know. That thing was around. Like, this isn't a new thing. It didn't surprise me.
Gabe's hallucinating again. Gotta stay off those herbs. Gabe, I know
it was real, Zach. It was real.
Right.
Bird dog is real.
So it was a good show. I guess it just didn't fit my needs or expectations, being that I've already played most of these games, and someone who's had the opportunity to see all this stuff. I do think it was a cool opportunity for people in San Francisco or people in that area that haven't been, or maybe it couldn't fit in their schedule to go to PAX Prime. It was far less crowded. It had a really good vibe. There wasn't a whole lot of... I didn't get any sense of dirty, gross gamer culture or inappropriate or disrespectful or anything like that. Everything was handled nicely.
Were the women that were there being respected?
I hope so. There were signs that said, costumes are not an invitation to touch.
Yeah, that was definitely at PAX.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw that sign at PAX, and you cannot convince me otherwise.
Okay, I believe you.
All right.
There weren't a whole lot of costumes. I saw a Quiet. I saw a very scary furry Ratchet.
Okay. How was the Quiet costume? Was it respectful to women?
I mean, I pretty sure she was wearing it just for the attention, but maybe she really loved quiet. I don't know.
What was the attention that she was garnering being given to her in a respectful manner?
I didn't give her that much time.
Nah, I think you failed.
Yeah, I should have followed her around the whole show.
Yeah. Just like Quiet does in the game, just be on a perch somewhere, yeah.
There wasn't some cool stuff. Like, they had a Sony store that was the longest line in the whole building. They had these collectible cards that you could get from playing different games, or if you beat the demo. All in all, like, a cool event, but I don't know that I would go next year. I thought the announcements at the actual convention, like the press conference, were pretty lackluster. People were expecting like
super lackluster.
I mean, basically they announced that Final Fantasy VII looks pretty but is episodic, and that Paragon...
I don't know. Episodic isn't the word. It's not episodic.
I think it's complete BS that he says if we did it all at once, we couldn't have done the whole game.
That's so stupid. The game's not that big.
That's that's basically, we're slow. A, B, we don't have the money, or C, we need to get this out to put something out since all of our other games are taking way too long.
I think it's a combination of everything.
Probably.
Plus the fact that it's not being developed by Square. I mean, that doesn't help. But I remember not every detail about the game, but I remember a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't see how you break this game up other than to sell 3 of them and do it with the division of the discs, because on the PlayStation, Final Fantasy VII was 3 discs.
How do you think they
the first disc is so short, though.
How do you think they handle that? Is it going to be 20-20-20, 40-40-40, 15-15-15?
Yo, what if it's like 5 parts?
Yeah.
Where you're thinking it's
60-60-60-60-60. It's a $300 game, and people will pay for it because they're dumb.
Nah, I don't know. I don't think that they split this in more than 3.
Okay.
And... yeah, I think they do 60 on each. I think I think it's going to be a Lightning Returns type scenario where we had Final Fantasy 13, we had 13-2, and then we had Lightning Returns that were all $60. Yeah. I think that's what they're going for, more or less.
I mean, it looked cool. The fact that they've kind of totally revamped things was awesome.
I want just give me Final Fantasy 7 as it is. Don't change shit.
They're clearly changing the battle system.
No, don't change it. Don't change it. I don't care. Zach,
it looks real time.
Let's stop them. Let's have a heist and stop them. Let's have an Ant-Man style heist.
But honestly, Gabe, I think that old game is not going to work well with a 2015 or 2016 or 2017 audience.
Why?
It's dated and slow and plotting.
It's dated because stuff has changed since then. So what?
I think they're using this as a massive game for themselves, not for a
a massive 3 games for themselves.
Yeah, a monstrous 3 games. I mean, the guy walks out on stage with a Crash Bandicoot shirt. I'm expecting some huge announcement. We get Shadow Complex HD,
which that's cool.
I guess it's free on PC, by the way. So please don't pay for it.
Unless you don't have a PC, then you got to pay for it.
Yeah, and then Paragon, which looks actually really cool.
I don't like MOBAs necessarily.
I don't either, but I like hero shooters and hero-based. I like Battleborn, and I like Overwatch quite a bit, so I'm excited for this one.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool. I mean, the Uncharted stuff, I don't want to see any more of that game. Like, stop showing his gameplay.
Not new. I mean, the new feature they showed is that you can pick some dialogue options.
Sometimes.
Occasionally, which I don't know how much impact that's even going to have.
None.
But so, like, that part was... I was honestly a little disappointed just because there wasn't a whole lot new there. I did get to play some cool games.
I was more than a little disappointed. I was expecting big stuff. Like,
yeah.
I was expecting some first party, like something.
I think that
a new God of War, the Ben thing, something. Gran Turismo, even though I don't care for Gran Turismo, like.
Yeah, I think like the Sony apologists are a little bit like they're reaching their limit. Like, how long can you say they're working on stuff? It's coming when like we see no signs of it ever.
Zachary, I'm not a Sony apologist, but they are working on stuff, and stuff is.
Are they? Where they've been working on it. The system came on 2013.
Yeah, I know, but what you think everybody's just hanging out, just doing nothing? They're doing something.
Making
these studios are fun. No, Ben doesn't make an indie game.
So the game is taking that long. These are all like BioShock Infinite 6-year cycles.
Santa Monica isn't making an indie game. Like, these studios are working on something that they're not closed down. They're functioning. People are getting paid.
Where is the stuff that they've even already announced? Where was Last Guardian? Where is Rime? Where is the Witness? Where is Horizon? Where is?
But here's the cool thing. Those are all coming next year for sure. Like,
not for sure. Horizon could get pushed.
Yeah, Horizon's the only one that thinks gets pushed. The Witness is coming out for sure.
Okay.
I don't know about Rhyme necessarily, but I think that's coming. I don't know where all these games are.
Where's No Man's Sky? Everyone's darling.
That's coming. That has to be coming.
Maybe not. Well, if that game never came out, I would not be surprised.
I would totally be. That game has to be coming. Also, Hello Games super tiny, super tiny.
Why are they making the biggest game in the world?
I don't know. I don't know why they went this way.
You know what game does look really good though?
Okay, first you tell me what game you think looks really good, and then I'll tell you what I think looks really good.
I think Firewatch looks really good.
I agree, but that's not the one I was going to go with. But I agree. That game, right. I'm excited for that.
February 9th.
Yeah. February is crowded once again. That's coming, and Far Cry is February, and there's a few other ones that recently got announced as February releases, so February is once again crowded after being uncrowded by pushbacks.
Yes.
The game I was going to tell you about, I don't even know its name. Okay. Maybe you do have a better brain than me as far as memory goes.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll know the name. During the keynote, they showed the Adult Swim games.
Right.
And it was the Castlevania looking one.
Death's Gambit.
Yes, that shit looks great. I want to play that so bad. I'm excited for that. You
could have played it at PAX Prime.
Was it there?
Yeah, there's just a big line.
I don't remember it.
But yeah, that looks good. They do some quality stuff. I think the indie stuff is fun. Again, I was just wondering, like, when are we going to get those hard-hitting Sony top-tier titles? And
does The Last Guardian count? Is that for you?
Yeah, but that wasn't there in any capacity.
Sure, but we know it's coming.
Yeah.
Same.
I mean, we also know that Halo 6 is coming, but
yeah,
I want to see it.
But Halo 6 isn't coming next year. No Man's Sky.
But remember at E3 they announced Last Guardian for like spring 2016. I don't think that hits spring 2016 anymore.
I think it absolutely does. Why wouldn't it?
You think The Last Guardian is going to out of nowhere just release in March?
Yeah, why not?
There's been zero gameplay, trailers, marketing, anything.
I don't know. That's a game that you market, really. I think that game is for the hardcore PlayStation audience, and I don't think you're going to go spend millions of marketing dollars on showing cat dog. Not cat dog. Dog,
cat thing.
Bird dog, whatever. But, someone should make a cat dog game, the classic Nickelodeon cartoon.
We should just become a Nickelodeon cartoon.
Yeah.
Gabe and I were having all these great ideas about Patreons and blogs and all sorts of things that we could create.
Stay tuned to all of them. They're all coming.
They are. What else is coming is Far Cry Primal. I had a chance to play that, and I've got good news and bad news.
Okay, give me the good news, Zachary.
If you're a Foliage fan like I am, that game is way more dense than Far Cry 4 even.
Foliage, man.
Lots of big, beautiful trees. Back in the old days, the cave days, Gabe, there's a lot more plants than there are now.
Yeah.
So you can crouch in the grass, can hug a tree.
Can you hug a tree?
No.
You should be able to hug a tree.
Do you want the bad news now?
Give me the bad news.
So they revealed a trailer called like the Beastmaster trailer, and they were showing how you can command these animals. And there was a thread on NeoGAF where people were saying, "Oh my God, it's like not even like a Far Cry game. This looks like a totally new." It's absolutely a Far Cry game. Sure, you can have an animal friend that you like point at like an enemy and say go attack, and it'll go like bother them while you shoot them with a bow and arrow. But it is very, very, very much so Far Cry 4. And the reason they're able to pump this out so quickly and put it out in February instead of November,
same assets.
Yeah, it's because it is Far Cry 4. It's an expansion of Far Cry 4 that they've formed into its own game, and it may have some cool new features like the Beastmaster stuff and better foliage and old school weapons. I do wonder how annoying it's going to get to throw spears and arrows all the time instead of having like guns.
You like arrows in Tomb Raider.
I do, but this game is not meant for stealth. I feel in the same way as because the structure of the game is to send out these animals, which then causes tons of commotion.
Too much commotion. Those elephants.
I don't know if there's elephants.
Mammoths.
Yeah. So, like, that part is cool, but, like, don't be fooled. This is very much a Far Cry game.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be fun coming out in February, but there's a reason it's not being, trumpeted as, like, a premier title in the fall because it's not the next step for Far Cry.
Yeah. Quick sidebar.
Yeah.
Do you think we get Sleeping Dogs 2 next year?
I hope not. I have zero interest in it.
No, I'm not saying I have any interest in it. I'm just saying.
From Square? The fact that they've got Deus Ex, Hitman, something Final Fantasy.
And I brought up Sleeping Dogs because Watch Dogs is coming, right?
I don't know if it's next year or 17, but yeah.
Huh.
I'm guessing it's this. I'm guessing it's next year because I think they're alternating Far Cry and Watch Dogs.
Sleeping Dogs was so good.
The combat I thought was fun.
Yeah, I love that game. And Triad Wars is out there, but I don't care for that. That's like the spin-off thing where it's
MMO
like
thing.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No.
I played it a little bit.
But guess what?
What?
All of this was wiped away by one experience I had at PlayStation Experience.
Okay, what was it?
Virtual reality.
Zachary, are you here? Are you here?
This is my first experience with the virtual reality game.
Okay, how was it?
I want to make a dedicated video about it, so I'm not going to waste people's time with too much info, but I was very impressed. And I don't know if that's just because of virtual reality or because the PlayStation VR is of a higher caliber and quality. I can't speak on that, unfortunately. I'm tempted.
You've never tried Oculus?
No.
Okay.
But this was awesome. I played a game. It was a puzzle game where you had to fit these different size cubes and shaped cubes into holes in the wall. The cool part was you had to like lean around to see the holes in the wall or like jump above the blocks because as you successfully put them through the holes as they're moving down and like rotate them to fit, they would add more blocks. And pretty soon I had 22 blocks strand creature object thing. And so I was like jumping, ducking, trying to see what I had to rotate, make sure it would fit. It was very cool. I looked all around. Everything felt good. I did have some like notable strain after I got off, but it wasn't to the point of like sickness or dizziness. It was just like, wow, that was intense, and I'm not sure if that's something that I would, overcome.
I think you'd just get used to that over time.
Probably, but I was, as someone who has been a humongous naysayer of virtual reality,
as I currently am, I don't want it. I don't want it at all.
I don't want it either, but I think it's very cool. And I guess my question is, if they let you play, like the game I played, I held the controller.
Yeah.
So why are all the experiences so like tech demo-y? Why can't they just make like BioShock or Call of Duty with a VR headset?
I don't know.
Why? What is preventing them from doing that? Is it a power limitation that like graphically they can't render all of that?
Well, I mean, they're rendering 2 images, so I think I don't think the PS4 is powerful enough for that quite yet. Well, I mean, not that it ever will be, but to play it.
So it's the image thing, or is it the speed, the frame rate?
I think it's a combination of everything. Because the way that this VR stuff works is that it's both images, one on each eye thing.
Right.
And, so you got to duplicate the image, and these games can barely run in 1080p 60 FPS as is.
Yeah.
So duplicating it, I don't know how that will work.
Because there are some of the games do look good. Like there's this London Heist game that looks pretty good.
Yeah. Eve Valkyrie, I mean...
Yeah, that looks good.
In theory, looks good. I don't know.
So I was like, hey, I want this, but the hard part is I don't want it to replace gaming. I kind of just want it as maybe like 1 or 2 companies make some cool games like this.
Yeah, but...
So therefore, I don't know how you justify a $400, $500, $600 headset.
Yeah, I don't... Keep it away from me. I will stab it with this knife.
I think you should try it at PAX South or E3 or next time you have a chance.
Okay, I'm going to try it right now.
Okay.
I'll go visit Jack Trenton. I'm sure he has...
Palmer Lucky.
I know Jack Trenton's no longer with the company, but I'm still going to go hang out with him, and I'm sure he has.
See if he can get you in. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So I'll talk more about that in a video, but it was really cool and kind of made me, I'm embarrassed to say, like a little bit of a believer.
Okay.
Gabe, are you a believer in fan emails?
I believe they exist.
And we have some.
All right, let's read them. Has to be a shorter show, guys.
It does.
Because me and Zach are both freaking tired.
Yeah, it's been a long week. We had to work. It was Love Yourself week, so we spent a lot of time
loving ourselves and each other, and you don't want to hear about this. Emails.
Hey guys, hope you're having a good show. So it's coming up to the end of the year, and with another year comes another slew of game and console announcements. My question is, on a scale from Half-Life 3 to a new Call of Duty, how likely do you rate the following things to be unveiled at E3 2016? So we're just going to go through, Gabe, and you're just going to say if it's likely. Okay, you can say like happening, likely, unlikely, or not happening. So 4 things.
I might want to modify his question.
Okay, this is from Raymond, by the way, who is a longtime listener and longtime fan.
All right, Raymond. He's specifically saying the likelihood of it happening at E3.
Let's just say in 2016 in general.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I wanted to go towards.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right.
Are you ready for the list?
I am ready.
Put your hands where I can see them. Okay, great. All right. Red Dead Redemption 3.
I think that's... You said on the likelihood of
happening, likely, unlikely, or not happening.
Unlikely.
BioShock 4. Oh, I guess I should say this too. My Red Dead, I say next year, unlikely.
Yeah.
Or unveiled next year.
Unlikely.
Unlikely.
Yeah.
BioShock 4.
What if it's just not BioShock 4? It's BioShock whatever. Does that count?
A new BioShock, yeah.
Okay, a new BioShock likely.
I say likely too.
Yeah.
Sunset Overdrive 2.
Highly unlikely.
Yeah, not happening.
Didn't
sell well at all.
We're never getting.
Awesome.
We're never getting another one.
Last of Us 2.
Unlikely.
I'm gonna say likely.
I don't think so.
I think Naughty Dog likes the money.
Yeah, but I also think they're very slow.
But you don't think we even like a Game Awards announcement at the end of the year, a trailer, a teaser?
I don't think so.
All right, I'm gonna say likely. Alan Wake 2.
I wish. I think it's unlikely, but I wish.
I say not happening because Quantum Break doesn't even come out till like April or whatever.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
God of War 4 or a new God of War.
Yeah, I think we get a new God of War. I don't think we get it next year, but I think it gets announced sometime within the calendar year.
I would say happening, but I'm going to say likely because I don't know what the heck Sony's doing anymore.
Working on it. They're working on it, man.
All the studios. Santa
Monica. You know what it might be? Very quick. I think that The Last Guardian taught them a lesson. Like, don't show these games until you're ready to put these things out.
Okay.
And I think it's only been reinforced by the Uncharted thing. I don't think they want to show these games unless they know the date and unless they're confident they can hit it. I don't think they want another one where they announce something and then it doesn't come for 3 or 4 years and, you know, they're stuck there with pants down. I don't think that's what they want.
I think Uncharted has been shown too much. I think the fact that now we're getting these goofy character trailers, as cool as they are, like it's just elongating this process and dragging it on and on.
Okay.
Until Dawn 2.
We have the VR one. Does that count?
No, that's like a full sequel from.
No, highly unlikely. No.
Yeah, I'll say unlikely. Price drop from one of Xbox One or PS4.
We get price drops all the time. Like right now, they're both cheaper. It's holiday price drops. Do we get a permanent price drop? Probably. I think so.
Yeah, I'll say likely.
Yeah.
New slim model for PS4, Xbox One.
I don't know. Probably not. It's early. I think. I don't know how much.
I'll say unlikely.
Yeah, I don't think so.
PS4 backwards compatibility, like full backwards compatibility.
What do you mean? So that I can put in a PS3 game?
Or that right now it's just how you can purchase them in the store, but yeah, like that it would do sort of the Xbox One thing.
It's a possibility.
I'm gonna say unlikely.
It's a possibility.
They've sold their classics for so long. I think they just continue that. Shenmue 3 gameplay.
I think we get some. Yeah.
I don't even care. I'm not even answering.
All right.
Final Fantasy VII remake gameplay. We already had that.
Yeah.
NX releasing.
I don't think it does.
I say happening.
Yeah. We've made that clear. I don't think it does, especially not with these new patents. I don't know.
That's it.
Okay, good email.
Thanks, Raymond.
We promise it's not your email putting him to sleep.
I've talked for like 6 hours today already.
Yeah.
All right, next email is entitled My Crush.
I thought you said my crotch there for a moment.
Hi, Zach. Hi, Gabe. I'm a 14-year-old boy from Finland. I have this huge crush on one of my classmates. We had Independence Day prom about a week ago, and I asked her to dance with me. She said, of course, and I was really happy. Yesterday, I built up my courage again and asked if she would like to come and see the new Hunger Games movie with me, but she told me that she had already seen it. What should I do next?
Invite her to see a movie she hasn't seen.
All right.
Star Wars is coming, man. Take her to that.
Congrats.
Win her heart over with BB-8.
Congrats to you for being courageous. Now do it one more time.
Again, we promise it's not you that's making Zachary yawn.
It's not. My eyes are even starting to water. You know, we're getting close to dream world.
Zach, you want to just fall asleep with each other right here, right now?
Okay, yeah, like a Skype relationship. That's basically what we have anyways.
Yeah.
This next email comes in from Dylan. Hi, Zach and Gabe. I hope you all are doing well. Anyways, this year for gaming has been amazing, with titles like Bloodborne, Fallout 4, Arkham Knight, Black Ops 3, etc. Even with all these great releases, I still feel disappointed, and this makes me wonder why. I had this insane amount of hype for certain games, and when I got and put all the hours into it, I feel like they were kind of subpar. Don't get me wrong, a lot of these games are pretty good. It just feels like they're dumbed down compared to earlier games in their series. Anyways, what are your thoughts on the general trend for AAA games to be made dumb or more casual?
Battlefront. No, I don't know. I think maybe you're disappointed just because the hype cycles like get so big. That's why I'm done like getting crazy excited for things like that. Like I'll get really excited if I know I'm gonna play something tomorrow or something. But that like months and months of lead up time.
Sure.
I think that just kills it. I don't think anything can live up to the expectations that we put on it. Like if Evolve 2 is announced and that shit's not coming for a full year, like how excited are you gonna get for it? And then they're gonna do all these trailers and all these beta things, and then there's no way it lives up. I don't think anything. Yeah, so.
I don't know that the trend is like happening this year. I guess if you took like the last 10 years in general, when games were, first becoming popular on NES and Super Nintendo in that era, even PS1, stuff was harder because there was a more focused, hardcore, limited audience. Now with it being much more mainstream, they have to appeal to a greater base as they want to make greater amounts of money. So
yeah.
I do notice it. I think maybe dumbed down isn't the right word. I think the like open worldifying of games is more of the potential issue, whereas mechanics and gameplay doesn't matter as much as sort of spectacle and scope. But that's kind of a different matter entirely. Hello to the Splatmaster and the Master Leaner.
That's a reference from my Rainbow Six streams.
He says, it's Sitting Duck again. And I want to ask you about games. I've had the pleasure of playing every major release this fall, and after playing, I become a bit worried. The trend started with Battlefront, continues now through Rainbow Six. This is the trend with little content, with an unclear season pass announced before the game even launches. This is worrisome to me because as someone who's enjoyed games, I don't like seeing them shrink and deliver less and less to people who want more. Just wanted your thoughts. Thanks so much. And he says that he's got a note for you, Gabe, which I'll pass along after the podcast.
Okay. All right. I think those two specific examples, Battlefront and Rainbow Six, I don't think that's reflective of where the industry is going in general. I think we still have a lot more. We have more single player experiences than multiplayer only experiences. I think going forward we continue to get multiplayer only experiences, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But we had Batman, we had Bloodborne, we had, I mean, to a lesser extent if you don't like it, I guess, but Just Cause, like, and The Witcher and Fallout, like there's still a ton of single player only experiences, and I don't think any of those are dumbed down or streamlined in any way. I think The Witcher and Fallout are still very hardcore, quote unquote. Same with Bloodborne. I think that there's just more space for everything. You're seeing more casual games. You're seeing more things being dumbed down just because there's more games being made now than ever. Mm-hmm. So I think the number of the things that you don't like is a little bit larger, but there's still all these other things that I absolutely love. Axiom Verge, Ori and the Blind Forest, Hotline Miami 2. Still just a ton of really hardcore games that are out here. It's just easier to get lost in the shuffle because there's so much coming out. That's Zach's answer.
I do think that it's a little bit worrisome that we are seeing season passes with a lack of clarity, season passes that change along the way.
To be fair, sorry I cut you off there, but
no, you're fine.
Rainbow Six is very clear about what the season pass is.
That is true.
They're very clear.
That is true. I do think that trend is not going away, though, of finding ways to charge for more and more content. I hope the trend of slimming down the main product doesn't continue. But remember, like, the difficult thing here is I think most people assume that, that downloadable content should be in the game, but in many cases, they're putting additional hours and additional work, and it's a min-maxing of how they can make the most money. And without, you sure, take away the season pass, take away the DLC, but that doesn't guarantee that content would then be in the game. You may just have a game without any option or opportunity to expand.
Yeah.
Couple more emails. I'm going to kind of shorten this one a little bit. He asked a lot of good questions. So, Scott, I'm sorry for not reading all of it, but the one that he does bring up, and he wants us to do a lot of Game of the Year stuff, which we will. But what I thought was interesting is he wants to know how you came up with the name Volatile Gabe.
Season, a lot of Breaking Bad in this episode. Season 3 of Breaking Bad. One of the teasers for it, one of the posters, it said warning, extremely volatile. And I was sitting there and I knew I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I had already failed, not failed with another one, but I had already made another one. I didn't like the name at all, so I was just going to start all over.
What was that name?
I believe it was Let's Play Gabe.
Okay. I kind of like that.
Yeah. So that never. I uploaded like 2 videos to it, and then I decided I didn't like the name. And
okay.
That's one thing that people should know. Me, I'm terrible at coming up with names for everything, as you can attest. So when the podcast didn't have a name, I just draw blanks.
Sure.
So I saw that teaser. I think I'm a pretty volatile person, especially back then. I was a little bit angrier.
Okay.
So I just that was it basically. I just thought the word fit with my personality, and I just went with that.
Gotcha. Very nice. Last email for the day is an urgent please answer email from Omar.
I specifically remember saying you were going to open the podcast with this,
but I forgot. Hello there, Zach and Gabe. I have emailed you guys today to ask for your help on a very serious issue that has occurred as of late. So the other day in America, it was Thanksgiving, so we had the entire family over this year. I knew this year was going to be a good one when my mom unveiled the luscious, bodacious, spectacular, mouth-watering turkey we were going to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So as we all were about to dig in, the lights suddenly turned off for about 5 seconds, and then when they turned back on, the turkey was gone. Fear, horror, and terror had spread everyone's faces as we all realized there was a turkey there among us. I want your guys' opinion on who stole the turkey so we can go bust them. Was it Grandpa Jenkins, the 98-year-old with the big gut and farts that may or may not have smelled like turkey? Uncle Tortuga, the one who had a tendency for ruining family occasions for some reason.
Hold on, that's another Breaking Bad reference right there. Tortuga.
Little Timmy, the one who always seemed very suspicious to me and kind of looked like a turkey himself. Perhaps he stole it to free his brethren. Or our neighbor Bill. We invited him over because he had nobody to eat with. It could have been him, or could it? Anyways, thanks so much for your opinion on this matter. It really means a lot to me and my family. Keep up the great work.
I think it was Tortuga.
I think it was Grandpa Jenkins.
That shit was awesome. That was the best email in a long time.
One of the greatest emails. Thanks, Omar. Hype City. I'm going to go first this week.
All right, do it.
I'm hyped for my vacation.
Yeah.
I'm going to Disney World. And...
God, Zachary, why?
Why is music playing on my phone? City of Angels Beat Service remix by Elevation, Groob, and Hovsepian is now playing.
Oh, I thought you were playing the Hype City thing.
I don't know how this happened.
All right.
I think it's a Apple Music thing. I think Siri thought I was calling her.
Siri.
Shush.
Be quiet.
I'm excited for my Florida vacation. I cannot wait to just get a break from the cold and just a break from everything and relax and enjoy. I'll still be doing video stuff, vlogs and whatnot.
Stop lying. You're not going to make any videos. You're going to be yawning.
Make vlogs, man.
You're going to be yawning. That's all you're going to do.
I just checked.
Siri, be quiet.
I'm also hyped for our Game of the Year show. I'm very excited to force you to make a list.
That's going to be fun. And there's going to be special guests. One at least.
At least one. Gabe, we can dress up as other. We can guess up as other guests.
We can guess up as other.
We'll
guests.
guess it up.
All right. I want to guess as. Can I wear Guess jeans and a Guess and a Guess polo and be the Fergie? I want to say the actor that played that guy in The Guest, the movie, good movie.
Oh, why don't you be me?
I'll be you.
I'll be you. You be me.
All right. Send me some Detroit Lion attire.
Okay.
All right.
What's your hype city?
Star Wars.
Cool. That comes out in a week from today.
Next time we record a podcast, we've seen Star Wars by that point.
Well, not true. But okay.
Not true.
Next podcast will be the Game of the Year podcast.
Shit. All right. My bad.
But the one that maybe we'll do a special episode.
We have to if you're. Wait. Are you here for that?
No, I'm.
No. You're watching it over there, man.
But I can do it with you though, Gabe.
All right, let's do it. We're doing it and doing
Me
it and
doing
Becca
it well. Can just regale about Star Wars.
All right, guys. So me, Zach, and Becca are going to do a Star Wars podcast.
There we go. All right. Guys, sorry for the slight lack of energy today. It's been a long day. We wanted to make sure we got a cast out for you. We hope you enjoyed.
I was asleep right until like 10 minutes before we were supposed to be here.
If this was an actual goodbye to the podcast, Gabe, you want to say a few words?
See you next week. I got no words, man. I got no words to give you.
It's been a great run. We love you all.
It's so confusing how we're telling people this is the last episode, but we're also telling them there's a Game of the Year.
Gabe, confusion is at the heart of humanity.
Oh, you're right.
It's also the Christmas season. Everyone's confused. What do you get somebody? What are you getting?
All right.
What is Santa?
Look, guys, if this is the last podcast we ever do, it was nice knowing you, even though we don't really know you.
Thanks
but we'll see you in the Game of the Year show.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us. And remember that one time I couldn't stop laughing? That was my favorite memory.
Yeah. Somebody should use that for the montage.
They should. I hope they do.
Somebody should.
And until next time, guys and girls, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for listening.
If there's a next time, which there may not be.
Yeah, we don't know. It's all up in the air at this point. Be merry, be well, enjoy Star Wars, play SteamWorld Heist. And,
see you next week, maybe, possibly. Who knows?
For the rest of for all the cast and crew here at Can't Stop Playing, we wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and bon voyage. That's it.
That's it.